Separate Ways, the side story that details what Ada was doing during the events of Resident Evil 4. This extra campaign was first introduced for the PlayStation 2 version of the game and has been in every port since, except for VR. Completing this mode rewards the player with the special costume 2 for the main campaign, providing Leon with a snazzy gangster suit and, most importantly, making Ashley indestructible with a suit of armour. In this guide I will be showing the best strategies I have found for completing each section, how to conserve ammunition, and I'll show you the locations of all the treasures, so you'll have everything you need to beat
Separate Ways.
Before we begin in earnest, there are a few crucial tips and tricks to make your entire Resident Evil 4 experience easier. The main three are quick turning, baiting enemies, and using the knife. Quick turning. Quick turning is a hidden feature in the game that the tutorial features do not mention. While it is true that Resident Evil 4 uses the same basic tank control system of previous games, the over-the-shoulder aiming system allows for something new. On your controller, the right joystick can be used to move the camera to face a different direction to the one the character is currently facing. If you press the aim button while moving the camera like this, then the character will turn their body accordingly. By tapping the aim button repeatedly, you can make quick, tight turns around corners or suddenly change your direction. Baiting. The enemy AI can be tricked into preemptively attacking you, leaving them open to your attacks. To successfully bait an enemy, simply run towards them, then either stop or back up once you see them react to you. Different enemies will have different attack ranges, of course, but this baiting trick will work on most of the enemies you encounter in the game. Using the knife. Despite the great variety of weapons available to the player in Resident Evil 4, the single greatest weapon in your inventory is the knife. Though it takes a bit of practice to master its use, even new players can take advantage of it and conserve ammo. Either bait an enemy into attacking you so you can slash their face and melee them, or shoot them in the face and melee them. From here, use the knife while they're on the ground to finish them off without expending any more ammunition. The knife can also be used at the top of ladders to great effect. Mastering these three core skills will completely change your RE4 experience and make most enemy encounters far easier to deal with. And with that out of the way, we can now begin the guide. Chapter 1. Ring the Church Bell. The first thing we want to do in this first village segment is gather supplies from all the houses and boxes. Be careful around the Ganado, as they are more aggressive than the normal difficulty of the main campaign and will deal more damage too. As there is a surprisingly large number of Ganado in this first village fight, it's a perfect place to farm supplies and money for later. If you want an early advantage when meeting the first merchant, then I recommend killing as many Ganado as you possibly can. You can spawn more enemies by going to the far ends of the village or by entering houses. Doing so will also allow you to glimpse Leon running past sometimes. Just like in the main campaign, your best weapon is your knife. Either use it on downed enemies after shooting them and kicking them, or use the knife to stun them without wasting any ammo at all. Always try to bottleneck enemies in doorways, windows, or with ladders. Despite the sounds of the chainsaw, don't panic. You won't encounter Dr. Salvador until much later. As there is no chainsaw enemy, we can take advantage of a simple trick that will allow us to avoid receiving damage and expending ammo. Enter the house opposite the shotgun house and shoot a corner off the wooden door. This will allow you to knife the Ganado on the other side. Repeat this process as many times as you like while gathering supplies around the village. Remember that yellow herbs, when combined with green, will increase your overall health. Once you've killed all the ganado or get bored of doing so, use the hook shot to grab the key from the roof and head to the church door. Ideally, we want to have around 35,000 pesetas or more before going through the church door to the merchant. The merchant. Just like in the main campaign, he's here to sell items to and buy weapons from. However, he can't upgrade weapons this time. Though this means our weapons will remain the same for the entire playthrough, it also means we don't need to worry too much about planning ahead. If you can afford a weapon, you can feel free to buy it. For this first merchant, I recommend buying the bigger case and, if you can spare the money, the treasure map. Though I will be showing all the treasure locations, it doesn't hurt to have them available to you in-game for quick reference. Remember not to sell the mask until you have all the gems for it. I would like to stress that the weapon choices I make are my own personal preferences, suited around my playstyle. You're welcome to use whichever weapon combinations you want and are not obligated to copy my inventory. That being said, I find the best approach is to decide on whether to use the handgun or the TMP for the rest of the playthrough. I tend to use either one or the other but never both at the same time. If you're keeping the handgun, then all you need to buy for now is the larger case. If you're keeping the TMP, then sell the handgun and its ammo and buy the TMP.
Thank you. Thank you. What are you buying? Is that all? Thank you. Is that all straight? Thank you. Is that all, stranger? Thank you.
After jumping down this ladder, enemies will appear behind you, so quickly turn around and deal with them. If you're using TMP, I recommend using it like a handgun. Remember to combine the gem with the mask. If you're lucky, you can stun one of the ganado with the door, allowing for a quick melee setup. Don't forget to shoot birds' nests and kill the crows with a flash for extra money or ammo. Did you know that one of the screams from Lisa Trevor in Resident Evil Remake is also in the game? I recommend prioritizing the enemies who throw things at you, as they can become very annoying. To maximize money and ammo, we lure these enemies away from the edge, so they don't fall into the water below. The first mini-boss of Separate Ways, a very aggressive Bea sister. Break out the shotgun here and keep an eye on your ammo so you don't get caught reloading. The solution to this puzzle is the same as the main story. When dealing with a crowd, either bottleneck them or use the shotgun. Alternatively, lure them back to the walkway and either knock them into the water, or shoot them back as they jump to avoid taking damage. For the church fight, this can be a confined space, so use a ladder to knife them safely. Though keep an eye on the ganado who are on this second floor, as on rare occasions they may find their way round to you. Once they're dead, explore the bottom floor for supplies and the final gem before heading back up the ladder. The solution to this puzzle is the opposite of the main story, as the symbol is upside down. Chapter 2: Rescue Luis. First thing we want to do is go back towards the well where Leon will later emerge from, as there's a treasure here.
Welcome. Got a selection. What are you selling?
Sell your treasures,
Thank you.
buy the treasure map if you feel the need, and the rifle.
What are you buying? Is that all, stranger?
Try not to imagine what this woman was doing. Or why there was a live chicken in the oven. It can be easy to die against Dr. Salvador here due to the other ganado, so fire a shot then run back to the bedroom. This metal door will work as an effective bottleneck that allows you to safely shotgun him to death along with the other ganados. Again, be conscious of the ganado who throws axes at you and try to kill him first when dealing with this crowd. Alternatively, if you're good enough at avoiding the ganado, you can alert the crowd at the bottom of the path and lead all of them to the metal door. Just keep an eye on that chainsaw. When we return to the village, we can use the same door trick as before. Just alert the ganado and then lead them to their deaths. But be wary, as there's a ganado waiting for you in the house this time. Almost as if they learned from last time. Now you can raid the village for supplies again before heading to the farm. Keep an eye out for any lingering ganado who may not have been lured to the door earlier. Once in the farm, the best thing to do is to run around and get the attention of all the ganados. Lead them to this ladder and knife them off it, conserving ammo. Be wary of the one who will throw axes, as he can be very accurate sometimes. Once they're all dead, explore the farm for supplies and don't forget to use the hookshot here for the treasure. Fortunately for Ada, there's no boulder to run from. Use the hookshot to go onto the bridge and collect the treasure. This is the same bridge that leads to the cabin, if you never noticed that before. Much like in the main story, carefully take out the dynamite guys by shooting the dynamite. Standing by this side of the window will bottleneck them safely. Finish exploring the area for supplies and treasure before making your way back towards the village. There will be ganados waiting for you, one of them with dynamite who you can use as a mobile grenade. There's more of them on the bridge. Using a fire grenade is a great way to set them all up to be knifed to death. There's one more dynamite waiting at the top of the path, so be ready. The farm will be quiet and we'll have some more ammo lying around. If you're low on healing items, wait for the chickens to lay some eggs. There will be a large group of ganados waiting for you in the village, so how you tackle this fight is up to you. You could throw a grenade or two, but why do that when you can return to our favourite door? There will be 4 ganados remaining, so you can tackle this group however you feel is best. Don't get too engrossed in this cutscene, there's a cheeky QTE. These Ganado have a high chance of becoming Plagas, so pushing them down the ladder, if possible, could be useful as the Dynamite Ganado below can kill them for you as you climb back up. Failing that, the rifle will make short work of any Plagas. Make your way up for the key and talk to the merchant if you like. Remember not to sell the Beerstein until you have all the gems for it. Inside the Mendez shack you'll find another Bea sister. She'd be scary if there wasn't a ladder to camp on. You can also use the doors against her, but there will be Ganado waiting outside, so it may be wiser to get the attention of all of them and then use the ladder. From there, you can use the explosive barrel to take most of them out quickly, allowing you to focus only on the chainsaw. The Blacktail and TMP will kill her faster than the shotgun, so feel free to pump her full of lead while she's lying on her back. As always, don't forget to raid the shack for all the resources. Get ready for more dynamite and enemies waiting for you on the stairs. Once at the top, explore the area for supplies as usual and speak to the merchant if you need to. Then prepare for a boss fight.
Got a selection of what are you selling? Thank you. Thank you. Come back anytime.
Search the area for supplies and, importantly, the final treasure piece. Now it's time for a boss fight with El Gigante. Use grenades to temporarily stun him and shoot him with the rifle. Doing this twice will be enough to kill him. Chapter 3. Retrieve the Sample. At the start of this chapter, I recommend making a choice between keeping the shotgun for now or selling it and replacing it with the crossbow. The crossbow works much like a grenade launcher, so it can clear out groups and kill individual enemies easily while also working well on bosses. Be wary of the zealot with the scythe, as he often throws it at you. Use your rifle on all the enemies you can see and don't bother wasting ammo on these plagas if they aren't near you. They'll die on their own. When the group comes from the gate, make sure to bottleneck them as they arrive so they don't surround you elsewhere in the maze. Remember to explore the entire maze for all the chests. Don't forget the treasure above the bed. Instead of going to the dining room, I recommend going the long route to take care of the group of archers that are waiting. The zealot waiting for you in the broken butterfly room can be shot through the window.
you. Thank you.
Entering the dining room via this door allows you to bottleneck enemies and take cover from the archers. Have a hand grenade ready for the cage fight, as we want to leave as soon as we can. Blind the zealots and toss the grenade at the door in front of you. Alternatively, skip the cutscene and throw the grenade, which should kill most of the zealots right away. Make sure to run to the opposite side of the cage so the Garrador doesn't leave right away. Now we can kill the Garrador from a safe position. Jump down and bottleneck all the zealots with the ladder, either at the bottom of it or running past and climbing back up. Don't forget the treasure. And be careful with the archer in the final hallway. Chapter 4: Stop Leon's Assassination. If you haven't already bought the crossbow, this would be a good time to consider making room for it. However, if you're still comfortable using the shotgun, then it's not the end of the world.
What are you buying?
To save ammo, we lure the Ganado into this room and use the hook shot. By staying up here, the dynamite Ganado should help us by killing all his friends, either by throwing it, or simply being close enough that when he dies, he takes them all out. Alert the Ganados in this room, then go back outside so the door can be used as a choke point again. We will do the same again with the next door. Snipe the archer, remembering he'll fire 2 shots before reloading. Ideally, we want to knock the brute down the hole so we can drop a grenade down after him. This next area is often considered the hardest of Separate Ways, but it isn't as bad as it initially appears. Skip the cutscene for the keycard and throw a grenade into this crowd of Ganados. If you don't skip the cutscene, you're far more likely to get hit here. There are panels to shield you from the turrets, so make a note of where they are so you don't suddenly get sniped by the gunfire. If you find yourself overloaded with healing items, use any combinations with yellow herbs as they will increase your health even if you haven't taken damage. You can use the turrets to kill enemies as well, as you can't be damaged while using it, though you'd be surprised at just how many enemies will spawn in this area. Use your rifle on any enemies you see while on the lift, especially the archers, then clear the area of enemies. This shouldn't be difficult as you should have plenty of ammo and space to fight in. Climb the ladder, then jump back down to deal with these two easily. Or glitch out the shield Ganado. Use the hookshot and quickly get across to the other side. I would recommend using the cannon to kill the Ganados first before you fire at any of the turrets, as a timer starts as soon as you do so. There's a lot of Ganados here though, so you can either choose to exhaust the spawn, or leave them be if you're confident in your ability to move around them. Before you jump down, move around until you hear a stun rod. Drop a hand grenade or a flash down to the group of Ganados waiting for you. When clearing the enemies in your way, keep an eye on the timer. You have more than enough time to kill everyone and make it out. Shoot the dynamite in the Ganado's hand and you're done with the ship. This next area can be taken slowly and with care, as there's a couple nasty little encounters that can catch you off guard if you aren't ready for them. Snipe enemies that you see ahead of you and be wary when jumping down. There's a nasty dynamite and archer combo ahead which can cause problems when you're dealing with the other enemies. To avoid this, jump down and stick to your left and snipe everyone ahead of you with the rifle. For this next ambush, run past the boxes to spawn the enemies, then run back to the staircase and shoot the explosive barrel. Snipe the archer before opening the door so he doesn't catch you at the end of your animation. There's 2 shield Ganados waiting around the corner, but the shotgun or the crossbow make quick work of them. Head back to where Leon and Ashley came from for treasures, supplies, and a comment about Leon. These shield Ganados shouldn't be a problem when you have the high ground. Double check you have all the treasure pieces before you save Leon with a QTE.
Almost let it slip.
Enough talk. Die, comrade!
Chapter 5. Obtain the Sample. For the final chapter, I'd highly recommend getting the TMP as it can be surprisingly useful against Sadler at the end. If you haven't already, make sure to get the crossbow as well, as it will also make things much easier in this chapter.
Is that all, stranger? Thank you. Is that all, stranger? Thank you. Is that all?
Shoot JJ in the head with rifle to keep him stunned until he dies. Bait the Ganados to stay in place long enough for the Dynamite Ganado to lend you a hand. Then use the explosive barrel on the group that is waiting. You can use the ladder to your advantage here if you want, but make sure to kill the archer first. This ambush is similar to the elevator in the castle. Pick a corner to stand in and use your power ammo to quickly eliminate the groups that jump down. Before leaving, snipe the archer so he doesn't bother you and use the explosive barrel on the other two. Fortunately, this next area isn't as bad as in Leon's campaign. Once the gate closes, use the rifle to snipe the archers quickly. Take cover frequently if you don't trust your aim, or throw a flash grenade to stun some of them. From the ground level, you can also snipe a couple enemies who are waiting to ambush you. Wait for JJ to finish firing, then stun him with a grenade before using the rifle to headshot him and finish him off. For the other JJ, hiding behind this box will force him to come to you. Again, use the rifle to pick off enemies waiting for you. Running in here will trigger a small ambush of 3 ganados. Wait for the archer to fire 2 shots, then snipe him. The group hiding in the cell can be taken out with the rifle or whichever weapon you prefer. Don't forget the treasure. Time for a boss fight. Just like in Leon's campaign, Krauser is extremely weak to the knife and has less health in Separate Ways. However, you have to fight him in a much more confined space, so this can be potentially very tricky. Bait his attacks or chase his backflips to quickly knife him. The crossbow can be used to stun him long enough to get a knife slash in if you're close. If not, it still deals decent damage to him. Grab the treasure and prepare for the hardest boss fight of Separate Ways. There are different ways to deal with Saddler, so I'll showcase a couple of them. Note that whichever method you choose, it's best to fight him on the catwalk, as on the ground floor he has some annoying attacks. Method 1. The TMP. You can use the TMP to stun him easily. Just make sure to quickly stun him again when he prepares to throw your bullets back at you. Dodge his charges to get some much needed space between you. Repeat this process, and he will eventually fall. Method 2. The crossbow. You can use the crossbow to consistently stun him, and if you hit him while he is charging, it opens him up for a stab. Much like the TMP method, abuse his missed dashes to continue pelting him with the crossbow bolts, and he will eventually fall. Method 3. The rifle. This one is straightforward. Keep your distance and shoot him repeatedly in the head. Method 4. The Knife. Surprisingly, Sadler is just as weak to the knife as Krauser is. Stay close to him and dodge his attacks while slashing away at him with the knife, and he'll die very quickly. I'd only recommend doing this if you have good reflexes, as one missed QTE could spell disaster for you. To avoid his instant kill move, fight him on this ramp as his grab attack doesn't work properly on it. If you have crossbow bolts left over, this final area is the time to use them to get the enemies out of your way. You don't have to kill all of them, just make room to run past them safely. I hope this guide has been informative. If it helped you, please return the favour by leaving a like and a comment. If you'd like to see more content like this, consider subscribing. If there's other guides you would like to see on the channel, let me know in a comment. Before I go, I'd like to thank my stars, BSAA and Corgi Squad members, MadMads007, Jojo, Silent Chaos and Chemistry 19, along with my top channel supporters, Hylock and Hugo, I am Luke65, Joanne Schmerman, Melissa Zietz, Secutor Libertatum, The Shadowed One, US Marine Corps Win TRW, Victor Brown, and Viviana G. Without such generosity, I wouldn't be able to keep the channel going as consistently. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.